We recommend that you have your bicycle assembled by a professional mechanic. If you choose home assembly, please have a professional bicycle mechanic review your assembly before riding. If you have any questions, reach out anytime. For the fastest response, email us at hello@brilliant.co. Now let's get started.
The first thing you're going to want to do is disengage the rear brake, and all you're going to want to do that is to go to where the rear brake actually is, squeeze both of the arms together, and pull the noodle right out of the housing. It'll pull loose and open right up as soon as you let go. From there, we're going to go and flip the bike over. If you have to do it on the floor, make sure that you're gentle with it or you're going to scrape up the handlebars and the seat. We're just going to put it on this table. From here, we can get moving with taking this wheel off. So the first thing you're going to want to do once you have the bike flipped over is to disengage the Nexus hub. It's going to make it the easiest because the wheels clamp down and you're going to have to pull on some stuff, so you don't want the wheel to rattle loose while you're doing such. So the easiest way to do it is to remove this guy from the frame housing so that it's a little bit free, you have a little bit more slack to work with, and then just pull this cable straight out of the housing like this. You'll notice that there's a little slot so that it comes right out and this guy is kind of free to hang out. Once the cable's free, you're going to want to use your thumb to push this nut so that this guy has a little bit more slack, and then you just pull that cable straight out. Once this cable's free from the hub, you can start to remove the wheel. So just loosen up the axle nuts, give them a couple turns counterclockwise so that they're loose, but not so that the nuts fall off. Move right to the other side and loosen this guy up. Same procedure, don't pull that guy off. Then grab your 3mm Allen key and give each of the belt tension bolts a couple turns so that the belt starts to loosen up. And you can see that right away, it starts to give some slack. Move to the other side, do the exact same. And give it a good little tap, and you'll see that it really slackens up. Just start to remove the belt off the chainring. Don't roll it because you might run the risk of breaking the chainring. Remove it from the cog in the rear, and then from there you should be able to just pull the wheel right out. Once you pull the wheel off, you'll notice that you guys got a flat. So you just remove this Schrader valve and put that to the side. Then we can start by grabbing our tire lever, flipping the wheel 180 degrees so that the valve is at the bottom, and then inserting the tire lever right under the bead of the tire. From there, we can just move it a complete 360 degrees so that the lip of the tire comes free from the rim. And once it's free from the rim, we can start removing the tube. Throw that to the side. And then remove the tire completely to make sure that there's nothing stuck inside the tire itself. Grab a household rag and run it through the inside of the tire. And if it gets snagged on anything, you'll know that there's something stuck in the tire. This guy is good to go, so we're just going to put it back on. Make sure that the tread of the tire faces towards the bike. So with the cog on the right side, make sure that the tread faces forward. Then put one lip inside the rim, all the way around. Just press it on there loosely with your hand. Once we have it loosely on there, grab your new tube and your pump. Lock it down around the valve by lifting up the lever and give it 1 or 2 pumps so that it starts to take shape. From here, you can insert your valve into the tire through the rim so that it sits straight. Make sure that it's straight in the rim. And then you can start feeding the tube into the tire. You can just press it loosely so that it sits loosely inside. Go in both directions so it's even. Just make sure you get it all the way in there. Once the tube's completely seated inside the tires, flip it around so that the valve's at the top, and press the valve up so that it seats inside the tire. Use both your thumbs to kind of press the other bead of the tire into the rim. Flip it around so it makes it a little bit easier. Just use your thumbs to press the bead right into the lip of the rim. Give it a good press all the way around to make sure that it's seated. Once again, give this guy a press and then pull it so that it is seated inside the rim, and then you can start to add air into the tire. You want these guys at right around 80 PSI. Lock that guy down, give it a few good pumps. Put that Trader valve back on. And then we can start to put this guy back onto the bike. To get the wheel in correctly, make sure that you put the belt around the cog, and then line up these washers with the dropouts. There are no turn washers, so they'll fall right into the dropouts, right into this slot. You can loosely tighten these guys down to make sure that they stay put. Thread the belt right around the cog, and then go up front and put it onto the chainring. Press it on all the way around. Once you have the belt on and those spacers in the dropouts, you can start by adding a little belt tension. So just get these guys a little bit loose again using your fingers, and give these guys a few clockwise turns to make sure this guy gets pretty tight, and make sure that the wheel is straight in the dropouts in relation to the seat tube. Once everything's all straight, you can take your 15mm wrench, tighten these guys down. Once they're all tight, we can engage our hub again. We're just gonna wanna use our thumb to press up the arm on this guy. Make sure that the flat sides fit right into the slot. It'll slide all the way back in there. Then you can just let that go. Make sure that your cable lands underneath this little clip here and behind this yellow line. And then, just like before, pull this housing so that it sits right back in there and that the cable goes into this slot. Thread your housing back through the frame, and then flip your bike over. Don't forget to re-engage your rear brake by squeezing these arms together and just threading that noodle right through the little clip here on top of the brake. Slide the rubber piece over the end, and from there you're ready to hit the road.
Thank you for riding Brilliant. If you've chosen home repair, please have a professional mechanic review your work before riding. If you have any questions, email us for the fastest response at hello@brilliant.co. You can also text or call 310-853-1337.